Hello, Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get into it. You know what, Sagittarius? We're going to actually have a full moon in your sign, full strawberry moon on June 11th. So mark your calendars for those of you all who don't follow the moon phases yet. But we're going to have a full moon in your sign on June 11th. And your full moon prediction video for those of you all who are on the Patreon side will go up very, very soon, probably today. So let's get into it. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below. But let's get into it. So to intensify your psychic gifts, Psalm 78, that's on spiritualism, telepathy, astral projection, automatic writing, etc. So Psalm 78, for those of you all who love a good psalm, like a lot of us do, the book of Psalms is really, really good. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. All right, all right, all right, all right. The moon has moved into Leo, right? Moved from Cancer into Leo. So make sure you get outside and get some fresh air. Let the sun hit your face, right? Recharge, especially since you're a fire sign, right? You want that sun. You want to recharge from the sun. So 590, gather strength. So focus on your talents, right? So this orange right here connects us with sacral chakra, right? So somebody is really gifted and talented, your psychic gifts. So you want to intensify them. Psalm 78. So your angels encourage you to gather your strength. In the next chapter, you will need to focus on what you can do rather than what you cannot do. So reflect upon a talent that you have, no matter how small or inconsequential you may think it is. Talk about your talent out loud to yourself as if you're telling someone else. Do this until it feels natural. So 590. So 5. Right. So somebody is really built. So you never know what source has, headed coming your way. If you're gonna be interviewed for something, Sagittarius, if you're gonna be traveling, somebody's gonna be asking you some questions like how do you, do that? Like you're gonna be teaching. You all are the I philosophize sign, right? So people may want to ask you like how do you know certain things, like in terms of your psychic gifts, like you know, how do you come up with I feel like for you all, um, travel is not just in a physical sense, it's in a spiritual sense, because you all rule ninth house. So here we have 5. And some people just want to just like, how are you built that way? Like, what is that? What is that? Right. So gather your strengths. But anyway, focus on your talents. And so you're trying to intensify it. So kind of get a feeling what your reading is going to be about already. But like I said, the moon is in Leo. Moon is in Leo, and so this is going to focus on your personal power and your confidence. And so, what part of you is ready to shine more brightly? Another question is, how can you reclaim your personal power in a bold and authentic way? And then also, what's blocking you from fully expressing your confidence? What's blocking you from fully expressing it? You all are kind of like this. You all are kind of social butterflies. Like it's kind of wild card sign. Y'all kind of go along with the flow. Y'all like to have fun. So you may have encountered a dark Sagittarius, like a low vibrating Sagittarius on purpose. Source may have, put you in contact with one during this cycle, or will probably put you in, in crosshairs of a low vibrating Sagittarius to show you how other people, what their experience have been, right? So don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Right? Somebody is a changeling. That's a child of fairies or demons who have been substituted for a human baby. So you're closing out a cycle in love. So yeah, during a Saturn return, you have been in contact with another Sagittarius who is low vibrating. So open your vault door. This is the next phase of your life, right? So your inner child is very proud of you, right? So if somebody secretly has a crush on you, your well of joy is within you. Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice, is with you. Somebody regrets lying to you about something. So you may have, there could have been another Sagittarius who was, under maybe a spell of possibly a water sign, that did something behind your back. Um, that you may have had a feeling about something, but you weren't 100% sure. Some kind of an injustice behind your back, something with the legal system, maybe have something to do with something, but prepare to increase, uh, prepare for an increase in pay, move in silence and move in peace, something having to do with the Saturn return, meaning you could have been moving, like you could have like packed up your gatherings, your belongings, and like move, like moving truck move, like move from your house to an apartment or from an apartment to a house or condo or something like that, where you have move personal identifiable items like your driver's license, passport, like those kind of things. But somebody encountered a dark Sagittarius that was connected with an possibly an organization or a bullying water sign, possibly a Scorpio, because Scorpio connects us with the death card. It's possibly a Scorpio who is a bully, because 9 is a death card, who wanted to make you look like a fool. So here we have your laughter is medicine. Somebody apologizes for hurting you. You have the gift of clairvoyance. So that's what it is. It's a Scorpio who is behind this. It's a low vibrating Scorpio, because a high vibrating Scorpio wouldn't have done this. You made a positive impact on them. You deserve the best. So a low vibrating Sagittarius was bullied by a low vibrating Scorpio to make you look like a full card in reverse during Saturn return. So let's get into tarot. They did some kind of injustice behind your back. And this is the dark side of a Sagittarius who just goes along with the flow without asking questions. So whoever the Sagittarius is a changeling. The Scorpio could be one too, right? But they were partners in this. And Source needs you to see something from a higher frequency. This is your card, the Temperance card. So both of them have something unresolved in their spirit when it comes to a particular community. It's like they hate a particular community, whatever the community is. So you need to see something. So that's where they partner up at. When they hate a particular community, whatever the community is, that's where they partner. They could hate each other for everything else, but when it comes to a particular type of subject matter, that's where they partner. And it's usually for something dark. That's where they like partners in crime. These two are partners in crime. Yep. So all they needed was an Aries to feel the fire. And the game was on. So all they needed was a pawn. This pawn, this game. Yep. Something having to do with the 11th house in Aquarius. 11th house. So they needed 2 pawns to play. They needed an Aquarius, they needed an Aries to play pawns, right? want to play like the duality. Here's the Four of Cups here, right? So after so your back was against the wall, and after all the sacrifices that you made, this is the hangman right here, almost like to empty yourself out, like upside down, like you may have emptied all your money out, or emptied all of your emotions out. You may have shared a lot. You feel like your back was against the wall. These two partners in crime, now that something is over, thought that they got away with something, right? Here's the Seven of Swords here, by assassinating someone's character. And this is what you and somebody have in common. This is what Source wants you to keep your vibrations high. They're making someone feel worthless. Who was a soulmate. So 7, 8, 9, just to have their wishes fulfilled. So they sacrificed somebody to have their wishes fulfilled, because to some degree you either put them out of the house, something you did something. No matter how long ago it was. If it was a Scorpio, if it was a low vibrating Scorpio, I'm telling you, it could have been 50, 75 years ago. They'll hold on to it until the end of time. If it was a low vibrating Sagittarius, they just gonna go with the flow, because they're a mutable sign. They're just riding along. We just ride at dawn. But whoever's tuned in, is high vibrating Sagittarius. So Source is saying to intensify your psychic gifts, what's going on. Somebody's encouraging you to leave the distractions behind. So create time to leave the distractions behind. So if you got a lot going on in your life after all the sacrifices that you made, someone is encouraging you to leave all the distractions behind, because this was intentional to make you look like a fool in reverse, meaning to make you look like a fool, right? Is the Six of Cups here, because two people don't look like what they've gone through. But these energies did not get away with what they did, right? Because somebody made somebody cry. Somebody made two people cry. They caused two people to lament. Yeah. And now somebody's turning the boat around by talking about it. Alrighty. There's two people, again, don't look like what they've gone through, what they've been through, because recordings are, it looks like recordings, images are floating around something. Because of the two dark magicians. Decided they wanted to create a nightmare, because two energies aren't talking to them. So they decided they want to create a nightmare, right? So they see somebody thriving. Whatever they decide, they realize the Ten of Swords usually is like a person meeting an unfortunate end behind closed doors, because of all the lies that were spread around. Somebody made up something like somebody's had mental health issues, or that they are into some kind of, illegal, working for, some kind of, some, selling their body or whatever, for money, which is a lie. But here's the Ten of Swords here. But instead, the energy is thriving, creating content, possibly, or books, or some kind of artwork or something. They could be a painter, whoever they are. Um, but somebody's having a tower moment now. Somebody's now realizing, oh my God, energies did not meet some unfortunate end behind closed doors. Actually creating something. They did meet some unfortunate. So people are having a tower moment, a total recall of how obsessed energies were or are with creating something, which is false. And something for somebody who made some kind of emotionally immature comment about, someone. People are having a tower moment. So you're intensifying your psychic gifts now. You're intensifying your psychic gifts. Because for some reason, somebody was extremely upset with you. They feel like you put them out. These two energies feel like you put them out. And something about you made them feel worthless. And they really wanted to, excuse me, they really wanted you to feel some kind of way. I mean, they really wanted to, it's like somebody wanted to humiliate you. They wanted to mirror. This is what all this water is. Excuse me, Sagittarius. They wanted to mirror hurting you the way they feel like you hurt them. So it's a Sagittarius and a Scorpio. So I feel like you're light high priestess energy. And so and a lot of people are talking about it now. A lot of people are talking about it now. And they can be talking about it behind your back. Especially people who see you as like their rival or your rivals, or the people who have seen you as their competition maybe over the years or whatever. People are now talking about it. Here's a Knight of Swords here. So Swords needs you to stay focused because they're not talking to you about it. They're talking about it to other people. These three energies, right? Five of Swords here, just being bullies, just talking about them being bullies. Right, Knight of Cups. So Swords is saying it's time for you to save yourself. Time for you to save yourself. What was this? Let me see. Yeah, time for you to save yourself. Yeah, from just looking like, looking foolish because of what these energies did. Yeah, so whoever, like I said, I'm not going to keep being redundant here with the reading, but Source wants you to really intensify your gifts, your psychic gifts. It looks like you're highly creative, highly, highly creative. Maybe you paint, maybe you draw, paint, draw, maybe you, are like music, something. Three of Wands, you're a team player, some kind of teamwork or whatever. Um, but something kind of took off pretty fast. Something took off pretty fast. Maybe you like to travel because we're saying I see you like to fly somewhere or travel. Um, Commerce, trade, travel, commerce. But some kind of expansion lies ahead for you. Whatever it is, you're highly creative. You like to expand, grow. Somebody's incredibly smart. But yeah, the goal was to make, to leave you out of something, but to make you feel worthless. So, of course, you know your worth and your value, but something is coming to your door very, very soon. Something or someone is coming to your door very, very soon. Um, I think this is it. You have a lot going on in your major arcana, a lot going on. So it's time to intensify your psychic gifts. Um, but let's see. Yeah. Yeah, but again, prepare for an increase in pay. Prepare for an increase in pay. But somebody regrets lying to you. But I feel like I said before, I feel like somebody was bullied. I mean, and that's not making an excuse for somebody, but somebody was absolutely bullied. into something. Um, they might took advantage of someone who they may have been depressed. I mean, they may have been depressed or feel like their back was up against the wall and being around, being in an environment around people. Um, and they may not have felt like they were, because I'm seeing the Five of Swords. They may have been bullied. They may have been told a lot of things but people are going to bring a tower down on you, or that you were going to be some kind of unfortunate end, by these two energies here. They could have been told a whole lot of things. So again, that's what Source is saying to you. Gather your strength. Gather your strength. Focus on your creative gifts. I think. Let me see. There's some energies wanted you and somebody else to look like a fool. Like really wanted you and somebody else to look like a fool. Um, so this is what I have for you for this week. What I have for you for this week. But again, prepare for an increase in pay. But this really sounds like somebody's really, really bitter ex, two bitter exes. That's what this sounds like. Who is having a tower moment. Who decided to create something, which is what they created, some kind of a lie, because that's what this is. They created a lie. Um, it could be ex-friends, ex-love interests, ex-business partners, because the lovers card is not always lovers. It could be because it could be partners, like business, or it could be business could mean people that you work with. Just so we were crystal clear. So if you worked, let's say you're in education, let's say you're an educator, school system, or let's say you're a the um, government, or whatever industry you're in. These energies wanted to make whatever profession you're in, your government, whatever, make you look like a dark entity. They're trying to project themselves onto you. So let's say if you were a dancer, you could have been a ballet dancer or a ballerina. They would make it seem like you were um, um, a stripper or something, whatever. So this is definitely somebody who feels like it's their way or the highway. Yeah, yeah. And then we have someone here in your family who likes to fan the flames, just messy. This is a family member who likes to fan the flames. A Virgo in somebody's family, it's an older Virgo in somebody's family who something about a red dress that stands out, and somebody who likes to fan themselves often. This woman right here has a fan in their hand, sitting next to a piano. So they may play a little piano or something right here. They got flowers around them. Got on sunglasses, so they could be shady, like to fan themselves. So if the person is not, whoever you are, if they're alive or not alive, that could be how you remember them. If they're not alive, they could be an ancestor. Because sometimes with sword energy, it could be like an ancestor. But if it's a family member who like to fan themselves a lot, it's also indicative of them sort of like fanning the flames. But they would be kind of like a mayoral figure, like in the family, where people like are very meticulous. Like they would be like the keeper of like um like family stuff. Like they would have pictures of people in the family. Like they would have keep information about people in the family and all of this other stuff. But if they're using it for evil, then they would be considered as like maybe in younger years, if y'all know, like the friends that would like have a group picture of friends, but would somehow pick your picture out of it, and your picture would always be the unfavorable picture in that would be the picture that would go out, the one that wasn't the favorable image of it. So you would be the opposite to that, would be the person that's like, okay, you got to put your emotions to the side and just keep, adjust your crown. So just like, okay, you have to just put your emotions to the side with dealing with somebody. Anyway, here we have the Three of Pentacles here. Yeah. So somebody wanted you and somebody else to feel worthless. So that's like I said, all they was talking about just being shady, just being shady about something. So it looks like there was a lot of conversation going on around you, but not to you. Like creativity, using creativity for evil and not for good. Couldn't come out of the second chakra, the sacral chakra. And the death card, a lot of grief, a lot of grieving and mourning going on. And this tower card really is just like staying in the number 8, trying to chain you to a bunch of just, like I said, again, just gather your strength. Gather your strength. Yeah, here we have the Eight of Pentacles because they have mastered this. Yeah, these two have just mastered this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these would be the type of energies. They may not physically like in someone's life, not in a physical sense, but they know how to with dark spell work in terms of mentally breaking somebody down to a point where they would not want to be here anymore. These two, it's an Aries and it's a Scorpio, um, and somehow they use the dark Sagittarius to kind of go along with the flow with this. So those three, and there is a, but they wanted you and somebody to look like a foal. This is a dark Scorpio, a dark Aries. Well, I'm gonna say dark. When I say dark, I mean low vibrational. Low vibrating Aries, low vibrating Scorpio, low vibrating Sagittarius. They use a low vibrating Sagittarius. So they may not physically in someone's life, but the shade that they use and like how they like a puppeteers and how they play everybody around this right here being shady and low vibrational and kikiing and laughing and being messy and all of this. So that's why I say you're gathering your strength to be strong for somebody because they have mastered this. Of all things that they could master, this is something that they master. So, yeah. So learn how to be conservative with your time. You're teaching somebody else to learn how to be conservative with their time because they won't create time for anything else, but they'll create time for this kind of mess. Because they like when people meet an unfortunate end. These are the type of loved ones that be crying the loudest at people's funerals. For real. They would be crying the loudest for real at people's funerals. So embodiment. Now is the time to make your mark in the world. You decide what feels right to you. Embody your leadership power and create your world out of deepest desires. Yeah. So raise the bar. When you set higher standards for the people and situations in your life, create space for new levels of joy and abundance. Rise above old patterns. Yes, I feel like you and somebody are gonna break a generational cycle chain and curse because nobody in a family should have to deal with. And I heard this pastor say this recently online, and he was just talking about how like the younger generation has to come along and break those those cycles from like the older generation being so negative and low vibrational that is literally causing mental health problems in families because that's all they do is just sit around and gossip and talk about people behind their backs and just seeing how people are just deteriorating. Like they just won't flush that mess out. That's all they doing is just assassinating people's characters. It's like they just master it. Like comparing people's kids, whose kids look the best, who's this, that. I mean, so a new chapter is forming here. Yeah. So somebody has seen enough, like for real. So when things seem to be falling apart, be aware that things may be coming together, the new ways that suit the next phase of your life even better. Yeah. Yep. Fulfillment. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue and fulfill your purpose. Embrace your unique journey and trust that it's leading you where you need to go. All of this sword energy is heart. Somebody has a new, somebody's heart. Listen, this right here, this cracked open heart right here, could have mean that somebody had heart surgery. This right here. But guess what? And they still ended up being a nightmare. Like a heart surgery still didn't fix it. They still didn't stop being a nightmare. So if you have a heart surgery, and this is like open heart, because this three of swords talk about divorce, surgery, all that. So it could be any of that. Your heart is cracked wide open, heart surgery, and still didn't fix somebody's heart. You will get there. You can't force flowers to grow or plants to sprout. Be patient and respect that everything happens in its own way and time. So yeah, somebody's getting ready to have somebody is having a tower moment because something about you speaking up, Sagittarius, you being a high vibrating Sagittarius, and you no longer going along with the flow is getting ready to cause these energies to have a tower moment. The tower is going to completely just, I mean, it's going to fall. You and somebody taking some kind of action because y'all been praying about it and sources giving you the answers to something, and you and somebody ending it, completely ending it altogether. Like um you and somebody are going to walk away from them. You and somebody are saying y'all done, y'all are completely done. That's what's going to cause them, that's what's going to send all of this spell work back. They won't have a choice but to face it. Here we have gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. Yeah, you and somebody are ending it because they're karmics. They just don't, these energies don't know when to stop. They don't know when to stop. But it's something about you and somebody. It's you and an Aquarius that they tried to loop into something um, that's completely walking away from something. Y'all are going to be the ones that's going to break the chain. It could, you could be an Aquarius. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, or the Aquarius is a man or woman. But something about you and an Aquarius breaking some kind of a chain and leaving all of the foolishness behind after what they did to somebody is going to send all of that spell work back. Because y'all feel fulfilled without it. It's just something has just gotten out of control. So that's what I have for you. So you're intensifying your psychic talents and gifts. Psalm 78. All right. Bye.